Hello, all. Welcome to Dummies, episode number 27, I believe. It's going to be a good time tonight. We got one of my disc golf superheroes, the first super pro I've ever got to watch back in the day, Mr. LaRon Harris. We're going to have Ronnie on, of course. I'll bring him in a second. And we're going to bring Kevin Neufeld in to talk a little KDGA kickoff stuff. So let's do this. Let's bring in Ronnie. Let's get this show started. What's up, my brother?
What's happening, brother? What's going on?
Man, I got an email just about 10 minutes ago from my school, and I was really excited. And I opened it up, and it said basically, we'll let you know if we're canceling school.
Man, you guys in your free days off in the middle of winter. None of the rest of us like snow days. Just so we're clear.
Hey, man, I love them.
I
love them. That's the second reason I went into teaching was snow days. The first was summertime. So, anywho, you got any disc golf going on in your life? You played this weekend at Millbrook League, I saw.
Yeah, man, that was the first round of golf I've actually played in. I mean, I've played one round since Christmas. Besides that, this winter's been tough for me. It's been cold. We've had snow on the ground. I generally try to stay away from all that stuff, but it's the time is upon us. I've got to get out and get my game in order because it's bad. My knees are bad. Everything's bad, and we gotta get in disc golf shape, and we gotta do it quick.
Well, we got a KDJ opener coming up in just a few weeks here, and that baby is full with people on the wait list already. So that is always exciting.
Yes,
Cut it at 72 people. I'd rather have 72 happy people than 80 people waiting on people. So should be a good time.
Yeah, can't wait.
Should be a good time. So, anywho, well, let's bring Kevin in. Talk KDJ, pay some bills. What do you say?
You got it.
What's up, Kev?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Man. I'm doing good. Flip this around for you. Boop.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. We got you, buddy.
Cool.
So you wanted to come on. Guys. You wanted to tell us a little bit about, I think you were going to focus mainly on the kickoffs.
Right.
What that all entails. And
Yep.
So
yeah, just a little bit about KDGA membership in general, and the kickoff, just to get the kickoff stuff, put it out there a little bit more, and why that got started, and how easy that is to sign up for,
and we are ahead of the game by far this year. I just got another request for payment from the shirts. Mace, get on that. I've asked him, hit him up multiple times, pay that bill. And I got the invoice for the disc golf pins yesterday. So
they're on their way, aren't they?
They should be.
Okay. Yeah, so, sometimes those have taken the longest.
Yep. So really all we're waiting on is the discs. And I know Loft has the stamp in hand, and he may have already stamped them. They may be sitting in Harrington. I'm not sure.
He called me the other day asking me about something, but said he was ready to stamp them at any time. So
sick.
So I'm excited to see what that looks like. That'll be cool.
Yes, it will.
So
I know Tate's fired up.
Yeah. No, it turned out. It's a neat story behind it too.
One of the perks of being the champion, you get to design the stamp for the next year. So that's such a cool thing we do.
Yes, it is. So, all right, I'm going to throw your slides up here and turn the show over to you. How's that sound?
That's fine. I'll try to. I think that's like one of the last slides. Or can you
go? You want to go in order?
Yeah, go in order, preferably. This one here. Yep, this is slide.
You're no fun.
Yeah, this is slide 1. So, it was just a couple things just to talk about KDGA membership. Benefits. Maybe on the bottom where you can become a member is at kansasdiscgolf.com. Easy to do online. It would probably be the preferred way to do it if you're not a member. We can, the kickoff TDs can take kickoff directors can take cash on site, but they all have agreed to do that. But it's easy to do online. Just a quick rundown of member benefits. The If you're a $30 full member, you get the member pin, shirt, and disc. $15, you get the member pin. Any member is eligible for the rolling ace fund at KDGA tournaments as long as you pay into the tournament ace fund. I looked that our ace pot last year ended at $495, so we're gonna have a big pot to start out the year. And last year we paid that out. We paid out 9 aces, anywhere from $22 to Junod hit one at Beloit for 260. So I don't. What
This
do you
guy
think?
got a
Do you
this guy
remember?
got a piece of that ace spot.
Do you remember what it was? That was at DU. It was early in the year.
Good chunk. It was a good chunk because I want to say
Yeah.
with the tournament ace fund and the KDGA, it was in the neighborhood of $500 or $600 in total. So it was a good
There you
ace.
go. Entry. Another benefit is the entry into the season-long points race by division. You can compete for the customized trophy in your division. I've got a couple on the wall back here from placing in the top 3. The overall points championship we just talked about, which Smitty's been a part of multiple times, and this year it was Tate, Nate Taylor, Jordan. I don't know, I had AJ Carl and then Smitty on the wall here. So mid-season, the mid-season barbecue at the state championships in Beloit. We have the pool. The pool is open for members and family at Beloit, which is always nice on Saturday night. At the end of the season banquet, chance to qualify for the end of year skins match. As a KDGA member, you got an opportunity for that course improvement grant, which we've got those funds to give away, and people have taken advantage of getting help. So I put down lifelong camaraderie on there. That came to me today when I've got a group text between me, Richard Pry, Philip Bustamante, and Damon Workentine that'll just go off the rails, year round now. And Damon Workentine one time was a guy that I had met twice in a year-long span, and he asked me out of the blue one time if I could he could ride to Pratt with me. And I was like, I don't even know this guy, but I guess, yeah, why not? Come on. So that's what I think is cool. So let's go to the next slide. That's slide 2, Smitty. This was 1.
Okay.
We want to go to 2.
That one?
Yeah. So just why we're here to talk about the kickoff 2025. This is the 3rd year of this format of the kickoff. Raise awareness for the KDJ. It's at multiple sites. We'll get into that. I think we've got 8 different sites now this year. So it makes for the easy distribution of that KDJ member pin, shirt, and disc to people that have paid and get pre-registered. Everybody that plays gets 20 KDJ points, and I mean it's for current and new members. So go ahead and go to that next slide on that I've got. Again, this is the cost. This is the member cost to be $30 for the shirt, disc, and pin, $15 for the pin only. If you're already a member, it doesn't cost you anything to play it. So which you could have played the finals last year. We had 82 people that played the 2024 finals, and they qualified automatically. Don't have to pay anything for this year's membership. We've got 124 paid so far. And then so it's 42 people new that didn't play the finals. So
this thing really is a great idea. And if people can sign up and get themselves to one of these events, it makes it so much easier on all of us to get rid of that swag. That it gets so old throwing 20 shirts and everything in the back of the truck and taking them to every single tournament. So
and it's easy. And I'd say one of the notes I had down is even if you can't play, and I'll use this as an example. Like last year, Randy Mattingly was a member, and had already went to Arizona, but he was coming back, and so he just, he signed up. So I got him his stuff to his brother-in-law here, so if you're out of town that weekend, but still get it signed up and we get the stuff at least to your club. So
Absolutely.
And you don't have to play either. I think I'm pretty sure the last 2 years I haven't been able to play. I went up there, picked my stuff up,
yeah.
just right down the street from me.
Yep.
So a way to
Yep.
help out there. But I think it's been wildly successful. I think
Yeah.
it's been a good idea. It's sure helped
Well,
Smitty and Mace get this stuff distributed a little bit better instead of carrying shirts and discs around until the finals.
Yep. Yeah. And I mean, that's how I got when I first got, Leahy was at a tournament somewhere, got me a couple times. Mace did that once. That way, they're not, I don't, you don't want to try to go to a tournament and then at lunchtime have to worry about that or
Yeah.
beforehand and afterhand.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's been a good idea.
but this is, I mean, and talking about like membership, I think we went from around 100 members every year, give or take. The last 2 years, we've had 240, and a lot of it's came from this kickoff day. And this is, one of the benefits to the club is like right there, if you have 17 new members, and that means somebody that didn't play the finals last year. So maybe you didn't play or didn't qualify for the finals, but you sign up again, you're a new member. It's not just brand new total people. So if you got 17 or more, it's $100 course improvement donation to your club. Fewer than 17 members, it's 20% of the entry fees back in course improvement donation. And I looked up, I found what we did last year to the sites. There was 3 sites that had 17 plus new members, got the $100, and everybody else it was tiered down a little bit, but everybody, it was just short of $500 that the KDGA gave back. So, I don't know. I mean that goes, any little bit helps when you're doing a course. I mean, I know like at Marquette, we still have, I know we've got signs to put in with, new maps because Darren's added holes. And then this year we're going to do it at Little River. And we don't have, there's no signage up there yet. So, but I think go to that next one if you want to. So these are the locations on the left, and then who's taking care of that site. So, and then I got a little feedback, Beloit, and like I said, the format is up to who's running it. I mean, it can be kind of anything you want it to be. Damon or Beloit said they'll probably do a doubles, some type of doubles. Garden City is going to do flip doubles, and they are also going to maybe throw together. Enrique or Luis said they are going to do a raffle and try to raise some funds. They're putting in a new course out there at Garden City. The only course there in town now is at the college, and they've got some land. It's either from the city or from the college. It's something you wouldn't think is in Western Kansas. It's called the Crater. It's down, and it'll be exciting when they get that done. Tanner Flynn's taking care of us there at Hayes. Hayes has got a tournament going on that day, so you'd have to play the turn as part of the tournament. I can't remember if that's the Flying Bison Open, I think. Then in Little River, we're going to do ours as just part of our Saturday league round, Darren and myself. Manhattan, they are going to play out at on the junior layout at Tuttle Creek. And if I understood Noah right, everybody, you'll get a free park pass that day, so won't cost you whatever to get in. So Pratt is tying that into the day of their food drive at Lemon Park, I believe.
Correct.
Salina, Joe Morrison there, he had been a big part of the slope course there on the east side of town. It's currently 12 holes, but he is trying to hustle and get his other. He's had a 12-hole layout, got some more land. The city gave up some more land there, so he's going to have 18 hopefully in there. So, and he said he is also going to do. They're going to do up some hot dogs for donations there to raise a little bit more money for new tee pads. And then what are you, Smitty? Are you guys doing it at Millbrook? I guess.
Yeah,
Probably?
we'll do it at Millbrook. It'll probably happen around the time the Millbrook League normally happens on Saturdays. People can play the league or just play. Yeah, you have to play around in order to get your 20 points. So we don't really care if they play the league, we'd encourage them to play the league for sure. But if they want to just play and, get a casual round in, then that's what they can do.
Okay. And I had this note down again. Even if if you can't play, like Ronnie said, he's signed up for Millbrook. I mean, you don't get your 20 points, but at least you can go over there and get your stuff. Or if you're, if you live in one of these places, we can at least get the stuff to one of these club members. There's a form out there. I think I've got it pinned to the top of the KDGA Facebook page. I've shared it around a bunch. It's a Google form you go in and filled out. I looked, there was 17 pre-regged, 16 said they'd pay cash on site. So I mean, we had 82 people played the finals last year and only had 49 sign up. So I mean, those 80, I mean, those you guys everybody ought to sign up. So we got about half the members so far signed up. So I don't know. I know we ordered. I think we've ordered more than we did last year.
Yeah, we got a lot.
We got to know where to send it though, and that's the thing. How much to send where? And so if you're pre-regged by the cutoff date, which is Wednesday, February 19th at 2:48 p.m., I'll shut that form off, and then we'll make our best educated decision there on what we get where. So,
and we'll just shuffle stuff around like we always do, and we'll get it to you at some point. And if we don't get it to you, reach out to us. Don't get mad at us. Just say, hey, Smitty, could you bring me something to whatever tournament I'm going to be at, and I'll make Leahy do that.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, that's about. Oh, I had one more slide. It wasn't kickoff related, really. It was on the divisions, and I know you had shared this one other time. On the left, we had what we had previously for divisions, but we had some interest and some inquiries about like the other age protected divisions and the MA3. So we just put in basically most PDJ divisions here. So hopefully at the kickoffs, that'll be one of the things that the director each kickoff will have to confirm what division you want to be in. And we can, and if you're currently in a division, we can adjust it, up until like May sometime. But, like there's kids I know, like Hudson Casper. How old is that? Do you know how old is he? 10?
I think
Maybe
he's 10-ish.
10. And there's another 7 O'Brien is maybe 12. I don't think I know he's not 15. I don't know if he's even 12.
No, he's not.
So, but they'd be in 12. So anyway,
no, I think that's a good move, adding those divisions and giving those people an opportunity to compete in their division. Now, when it gets down to the end of the year and there's only 1 or 2 people in division, I don't know what we'll do trophy wise on that, but
we'll probably we'll have to make a little better, make something, get something posted on trophies. So
just housekeeping. Your form is extremely easy. I filled it out while we were talking in about 55 seconds. So,
well, there you go. I appreciate that. You beat that 2:48 p.m. cutoff time, huh?
Got it.
You guys nobody's gonna even ask me about that. Did you even notice the odd time?
I didn't see anything.
Oh, you're killing me. You got to read it. So, but no, that's all I have. I appreciate.
I'm a busy guy. I'm in the middle of a podcast. What do you want from
me? No, I appreciate you guys having me on. I think that's all I really needed to ramble about. So.
Yeah, I'm glad you're on, Kev. I'm glad that you're take the points and all the other things that you do that people don't know that you do. You've really done a lot for the KDJ just in the last couple of years you've been involved. I know I appreciate it because it's taken quite a bit off of my plate. So,
well, I appreciate it. I did. I don't know if you guys ever saw this in person. I got the KDGA Service Award last year. This was the trophy that I couldn't figure out why Damon after the tournament, I was mad how I played, and he was trying to take an empty Keystone can from me. I was like, I'm throwing it in the trash, dude. Leave it be. And he kept trying to take it, and he wanted to and so he went and got a Busch Light can to put around there. So, but I ruined that part of it for him. But
well, you're lucky you didn't lose your award with that sour attitude.
Yeah, I know. It could have all went. So So, well,
drinking
no,
Keystone Light, you lose a lot of things.
no. So, well, thank you guys for having me, and I appreciate it. So we'll hopefully, everybody gets signed up for that. And
Yes, sir. So,
alrighty.
well, I'm sure we'll have you on again as the season progresses. And
are you going to keep having them on Tuesday nights, you think, or?
That's what we've done since the beginning, the second Tuesday of the month.
Last year they were on Wednesdays. Some of them I did them. We always have league on Wednesdays, so. But if you have them on Tuesday,
that's church night, Kevin. Yeah, we don't mess with church night around here.
Well, okay, that's a small town Kansas thing there.
Yes, sir.
So,
yes, sir.
Because I think there was some things in March I think we talk about. I don't know if you're going to talk about the schedule later. Craig's doing a good job of getting the schedule, getting things put together, and we got a good season shaping up. So,
as far as the schedule goes, I was just going to touch on the food drives a little bit.
Right,
People can go to KDJ and see what's up on the schedule. That thing is, changing daily. There's people jumping on.
Yeah.
So there's a lot too. It's full. Yeah. There's so many tournaments now. I got on there today looking, and it was almost overwhelming the amount of events.
That I was looking. I said last year, we paid that ace. 9 times out of 47 tournaments, and that's just regular tournaments. There's no KDJ Ace Fund in the food drives kickoff, just the regular tournaments we have coming up. But anyway, so I appreciate it, guys.
All right, dude.
So,
thanks, Kev.
Have a good one.
Appreciate it, man.
Later. We'll see you next time, man.
Yep. See you. Bye.
Okay, Ronnie, this is going to be awesome. I'm just going to let you know.
Ready?
Yeah, we were just talking about tournaments and how many there are. I remember a time what seems just like yesterday. It wasn't. It's more like 20 years ago that you had to plan to go to a tournament. You had to drive your butt clear across the state to go to a tournament. And one of my favorites to go to was, at one point it was called the Lovable Lawyers Open. Then it was just called the Emporia Open.
Yep.
And the thing I liked the most about it was they always had a final 9. So after the tournament, we'd all sit around. We'd all just watch the top 4 people play in the final 9.
Yep.
And every single year I went there, tonight's guest was in it. And man, was it a treat to see it.
Yep. And we'll talk about it. We've talked about it on this show before, and we'll talk about it with him on here. I've said multiple times that the best shot I ever seen was authored by our guests coming up. So, and when you talk about how hard it was to go to events, right? You had to plan your schedule around it because they were only coming up so often. And when we talk to our guest, that's one of the themes of it is you're kind of surprised at some of his career statistics for a player that was simply as great as he was, just played in an era before the big boom.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's time. Let's bring this dude in.
Let's do it.
Yeah, man. Let's see. We go this way. We put him over here. There he is.
What's up, guys?
Harris.
Hey, what's going on, LaRon?
Not much, Ronnie. How you been, brother?
Getting old, buddy. That's about the extent of it.
Well, welcome to my world, man. But just do it gracefully,
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for having me. This is this kind of rare for me. I don't do a lot of videos, but this one I wasn't gonna pass this up.
Well,
we appreciate you, man. We appreciate you.
We've kind of been told multiple times that you got to be on here. I know that Randy Brown was probably the first one, and he told a great story about you on that pod. I don't know if you it was hilarious. Yeah, Bruce brought you up.
Babbitt, Eric.
Yeah, so
really?
Yeah, so we couldn't do it without you bringing you in.
We're going to get to something here in just a minute, and we'll talk about it then. But we'll clue you in on some of how people feel about you here in just a few minutes.
Wow. Okay, let it rip.
All right, Smitty, bring them up.
Okay, we always start this way. Every guest starts the same way. 3 questions from Ronnie. Same 3 questions to every guest, and I'll just turn it over to Ronnie at this point right here.
All right.
All right, Who. So the first question we always ask everybody, do you remember your first disc and do you still have it?
Yes and yes. It's a Cobra.
Oh, man.
Yep. I actually started playing, and I don't know why this stuck in my head, but it was May 26, 1989, 1:30 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon. Yeah, just stuck in my head. A friend of mine, we were just cruising around, and he had played disc golf before, and just pulled over at Swope Park, and he said, "Have I?" He asked me, "Have I heard of this sport?" I'm like, "No." He says, "Well, let's just sit here and watch this for a while." And we got to watch basically hole 4, which was right by the street. And we sat there for about 15 or 20 minutes. And I just turned and looked at him and said, I think I can do this. This looks fun, and got out of the car and talked to Tom Engel back in the day. He hooked me up with the Cobra. I had started with a Cobra and a AVR, and took me a little bit before I got to the Rock. But once I got to the Rock, it was no turning back. But yeah, this was the baby back in the day, Don't bag it anymore, but it still has tons of memories. And I kept it long enough to have it the next year. And as an amateur, I won a distance competition with it, 424 feet.
Oh my gosh, with the Cobra.
Yeah, with the Cobra, yeah. 424.
424 feet with a Cobra.
Yeah, in 1990. Yeah. I kind of listened to
30 years ago.
Parts of it. I was listening to, I don't know if it was Randy Brown's interview or a CD, but somebody brought this bad boy up. The Pegasus.
I did.
Okay. And yeah, this is a bad boy. I pulled this one out of the stack. If you can see, it's got an ace on it from Lake Shawnee. Hole 4, 376 feet. Playing doubles with
ace.
Playing doubles with McCabe. Now, one more. I bet he does. Yeah. Okay, sorry, got carried away there.
No, absolutely perfect.
You just roll with it. That's what we like.
Yeah. This right. One of the best theme of this show is less of us and more of you is better for everyone.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, question number 2. You get a 5-some, your dream card. You're gonna take 4 guys with you, and before you start naming all yours, I will let you know that you've come up, I believe, 6 times or more in other guests' dream card, and that might actually be more than that, but 6 for sure that I can think of, and there's probably
that's pretty humbling. And I noticed a theme too. A lot of times, the reference was to the Kansas City boys. We just play hard, we work hard. When I first started, it was Crazy John, Otto, John Heaton, Chris Starkey, we call him Scratch. I mean, there were just tons of guys that you had to be on your game, or you were going to get talked about later on in a good way. Dang, this is hard. These are probably some old schoolers that a lot of people might not remember, a couple of them. But number 1 would be Todd Henry. May he rest in peace. That was my buddy forever. We never, and I can say this from the bottom of my heart, we never lost a doubles tournament. I was the righty, he was the lefty, and we talked so much crap so many times. I mean, to each other, that our opponents thought we were about to fight, but that was our strategy. If he threw a bad shot, man, I talked about him bad in front of him, and there were times where, I would throw, a good shot, and, he would just pitch his in the dirt right off the tee pad. Well, I don't need to throw you. I'm like, dude, this is doubles. Quit playing. Let's go, But, he was always fun. John Heaton, a great mentor back in the day. It got to the point with him, I was such a sponge. He stopped telling me, how to throw certain shots. He would just show me how to grip it. And, and he was very nice. He said, LaRon, we're in the same division. I can't help you that much, but I'll show you how to grip certain things so you can go work on it on yourself. You know what I mean? So I appreciated that. John Brooks, for sure, another great mentor. I think, it was my second week of playing disc golf. I went back to Swope Park, and I didn't know that there was a tournament that weekend. It was real new, and it was Tom Ingles U.S. Open. And that was my first look at Crazy John. He threw a drive on hole 2, and he was about 70 feet out. And it was the weirdest thing. He did his little setup with his putt, and lined it up. And then at the last second, guys, this is what blew me away. He smiled. He had a big smile on his face. And then he just released the putt, dude, and it went in. I was sold after that. I'm like, is this what this sport is all about? Is it that kind of focus? It was almost like, he was watching the hairs line up. And as soon as he saw it, he just started smiling and let it go, man. And it was just a thing of beauty that I'll never forget, Mike Davis, I know you remember Mike, Smitty.
For sure.
Yeah. So many great memories with that guy, so he's always got a special place in my heart. Eric McCabe, I remember when he was Sprout, you know what I mean?
I still call him that.
Yeah, now he's EMAC, we had so much fun on the road for, I don't know, maybe 2 years. Whenever we rode together and played tournaments, no matter what vehicle we were in, it was called the money car. Straight out. That's how we felt. That was our attitude, our demeanor. We were going to go have fun, but we were on a mission. This was going to be the money car, and it always was. So that would be my crew right there. I don't think I would love to play with them all, but nobody would score well. We would be just giving each other so much crap and having tons of fun, and talking about what we did 20, 30 years ago. And it's a blast, man. Yeah, that would be my crew for sure.
There's some bangers on that card too. That's
a pretty good one. Yeah. I know for sure you were on Eric's card.
Yeah,
I know that one for a fact.
That fivesome would whoop up on any fivesome that we've mentioned so far. That's nasty.
Talk about money car. That car's coming back with some cheddar, ain't it?
Yeah. The craziest thing about Eric and I, though, we could never play well together as a doubles partner. Never. Oh, I mean, we always kept our spirits up and everything, but it never turned out well. But the sneaky tournament was Round Rock doubles with Kevin Babbitt. We were so humble going there to play together, and lo and behold, we got second place in U.S. doubles, behind everybody and their grandmother. We were so ecstatic. I don't even know who won. Didn't give a crap. You know what I mean? we got second place in Round Rock doubles, and that was we were over the moon on that. But man, I can go on and on and on, just naming different players that this helped me elevate my game, because I knew they wanted to beat me. So I could never not come out, blaring both barrels. I had to. It was fun though. It was just totally fun, knowing that everybody wanted a piece, and I made them earn it. There's still a few guys. Matt Fouch, I think he's an Iowa guy. Every blue moon, he'll remind me that he never got me. And I'm sure there's a few people out there that might be on that list too. But it was all fun, man, and I wouldn't change anything about it. But that's my group.
That's killer. Isn't it sad that Round Rock doubles and national doubles and all that stuff is just kind of went by the wayside.
Yeah. Now they would have to change some of the courses to do that again. With the technology now, they would just eat those courses up. But yeah, I mean, that was a lot of fun, man. That was a lot of fun.
I went
And
the last time I went. I'm pretty sure that Kevin McCoy and Coda may have won. That's when Coda was just a young whippersnapper. But
yeah,
I'm not sure they won because Brad Hammock and the champ were teamed up there as well.
dude, it was always some tough competition up there, always. But it was the same spot every year, so there was no surprises. It was a lot of fun, but you don't see that a lot. Well, you don't really see any national doubles type events anymore, really.
Yeah, that's too bad because that's fun. That's fun stuff.
Hey, Midwest, we'll have to maybe we'll bring it back ourselves.
We may have to.
We got some venues. We got some venues close that it could work with. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Love it.
All right, LaRon, the last one. This one's often one where people are, we get to hear multiple stories here. Your favorite disc golf memory?
It was hard to pick one. So I think the most memorable, there's God. All right. I guess it would be 97, the year it was in Emporia, Kansas, Glassbone, DDO, whatever you want to call it. It's got 10 names. I popped off a 16 under. And I still remember that round. Everything was just falling. And the only question that I could not get out of my head was, when are you going to miss? I could not fight that off because everything was just working. You know what I mean? So, but to experience that as a golfer, like these guys now, I mean, they're shooting 18 and 19 down, but then to shoot that 16, man, that took a lot. I couldn't even, literally, I was physically fine. I probably could have played another round after, back in the day, it was 2 rounds a day. These guys don't know how to handle 4 rounds a week.
They don't know what it's like, do they?
No. But you couldn't have asked me my name after that round. I probably would have hesitated. That's how mentally drained I was from just trying to stay in that zone. We all been there. When you feel it, you feel it. You don't want anything to take you out of it. And then that's the hard part, not to hear the noise from what's going on around you. Even though, you're watching people, score like you or have a bad hole, but to be able to block that out and stay focused, I'll never forget that. It's hard to dial that up all the time, no matter who you are. But then the bad part of the 16 under, I missed the 2 shortest holes on the course. But it wasn't like a clean look. I had a stupid straddle in trees or whatever. But not blinking on that too was almost like a relief to finally miss one. To just like, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? Yeah. But the funniest part was back then. That was before the auto scorekeeping and all that. We've all experienced, you're walking in your scorecard, but everybody's walking toward you. They want to know what you shot before you get in and all that kind of crap. And I was like, I don't know. I felt like somebody probably did better than me. So when I kind of quietly said 16, that's when I saw everybody's eyes and their facial expression change. I'm like, okay, all right. But I still, we wasn't in yet. So I didn't really want to be happy about it. But once we got in and I let it soak in, and dude always had a poker face. So on the inside, I was just going off, but externally, I just kind of kept it cool, that's just kind of the way I roll, but I don't know. I also remember a tournament where I took my first 8. I think it was McPherson, Kansas, windy as crap one weekend. And but that that matures you as a golfer. You know, when you say your most memorable, it's not always the best round, you know, or it's the teaching moments. I remember I think my second tournament as an amateur, I was in Columbia, Missouri. And yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But I didn't have a sidearm. You know, I was young in my career, very young, still an amateur. And I needed a sidearm for about 70 feet and didn't know how to execute it. And I ended up getting second place. But the fact that I could not execute a sidearm burned me, man. I mean, you know, white knuckled all the way home. This was Sunday. Where was I at Monday? Grinding, you know, making a sidearm. And back in the 90s, nobody, you know, that wasn't a dominant shot, but I knew I needed it. And I remember, you know, a lot of times you guys would give me crap. What are you doing? What's the sidearm? Just turn it over, blah, 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 you know, but it was something inside of me. It's like, I want to learn every shot. I don't have to be an expert at every shot, but I don't want to get in a situation like I had in, you know, Columbia that year where I was just dumbfounded. I didn't know what to do. And, you know, since then, anything that gives me a problem, I'm going to go out and work on it, you know, to make it a little bit easier for me to execute. But, you know, that all of this is part of just that memory, you know, it's not always the best round of your life. It could be just a mental teaching moment. So that's what I try to teach a lot of players too, you know, just we're going to always remember the good shots, but you're going to erase that double bogey. Why? You know, let's work it out. Let's try to fix that, you know?
Yeah, often, you know, the best players, that's sometimes what sticks out to them the most, right? You know, we sometimes we forget some of those wins we had, but trust me, I can remember every time this dude got me by a stroke or something like that, you know. That's the kind of stuff that really, you know, that's what drives you to be a better player, for one. And like you're saying, it's what kind of what matures us as golfers.
100%. All right, you guys got some questions for me?
Well, we can come up with some, or you can just go wherever you want. This is your show.
You lead the way if you want to, or we'll direct it as you need. You do what you're saying.
I got one.
Sure.
Okay. I got one that I wanted to know for as long as I've known you.
Okay, fair enough.
Where did the name Who Man actually come from?
Great question. First and foremost, John Brooks gave me that name. I don't remember what tournament we were at, but he had one too many, but that was a good time, you know. But generally, no matter where I went to play, Crazy John would always tell me, man, they're watching you warm up. You know, he would be mingling with, you know, different people or whatever, but he was hearing more of the conversations than me because I'm out warming up, doing what he told me to do, and, you know, all this other kind of stuff. And he told me that the question was the same. Who is that guy? In the 90s, I was the only black player, period. So that was a running question. You know, who is that guy? And like I said, one day Crazy had one too many beers and he put Who Man together, and that was it. Before the Who Man, they were calling me La Boom, you know, because I had a pretty good arm, you know.
Yeah.
And then it switched to La Crush, and then the Who Man came, and that stuck. But you know, you guys always made me feel good at the award ceremony. You know, we all would clap for people when they got up there to accept their award, but when I stood up, bro, that sent chills through my body, hearing however many people just saying who. Most people don't even know my real name. You know what I mean? But that is, you know, that's just something that I honored, and I appreciated it, and it just stuck. And it, you know, I just wore that badge of honor, still wearing it. Yeah, but it was just kind of a weird story, you know. But for me, it was still kind of shocking because Crazy heard all this. I wasn't hearing it. but that was a running question. Who is that guy? Who is that? Who is that? So crazy's the man. He put it together and it stuck. And that was 1990. Been the Who man ever since. Some parts of my apartment, man, is kind of weird. We all heard the stories about the old cat lady. She got all the cat statues and figurines. I got all the owl crap. I mean, I haven't bought any of it. It's just all gifts over the years. The only thing I haven't had, and I thought about it a while back, is like slippers, with the owls on it. But floor mats, erasers, figurines. But I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world, dude. Freaking awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. I mean, there's not that many dudes with nicknames, like recognizable dudes with nicknames in our sport, right? You got Crazy. It's ironic that maybe the most iconic nicknamed guy in our sport gave you yours, right? But,
Yeah.
It's pretty everybody knows who is.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's just humbling. You know what I mean? When I got injured and I had to step out of the sport for a few years, and then when I came back, I can't think of the guy's name, but he kind of looked at me with bug eyes and like, "You do exist. You're not a myth." It was like we had the core of people that just started playing, and right around 2007 to 2012, it was just all rumors. I was never seen and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool to pop up and people like, damn, he's real.
What's great is one of the reasons that Smitty and I do this show monthly the way we do it is we quickly had this idea of this is we wanted to show everybody folks like you, right, that pioneered our sport in Kansas and in the surrounding area, that just our general region. And I mean that's why we've done this. So there's with all the folks that came into our sport during COVID, there's a potential that there's folks out there that may not know who LaRon Harris is.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
Seems wild to old guys like me and Smitty, right? But it's I mean it's that's why you're here, man. That's why we had to have you.
Well, dude, I love it. I don't talk about my tournament stats much unless it's warranted, and this is to me kind of warranted. Some other little accolades that I'm proud of. Like I said, Kansas City is a tough place to play golf, and I tell guys here now that are younger golfers, I said, dude, because they they don't think they play well. I said, wait till you get out of Kansas City. Go to Iowa, Nebraska, Arkansas. You'll see that you're a good player because the competition here is so tough, But the club championships, I won it 7 times. I think my record is safe here, and that's one thing that I'm proud of. Star City Shootout in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Hold on, Ron. Don't give that one away just yet.
Oh, okay.
Don't give that one away just yet.
All right. Well, I'll slide over to Emporia because if I'm not mistaken, I think I'm tied with I know Paige Pierce, and I don't know who the gentleman is, but I think it's 3 of us that are tied with 6 wins in Emporia. I don't know if it's Eric or is it Paul. I don't know.
Might be Danny Stacy. That guy went on a run for several years.
Yeah, I don't know who it was, but it might be past 6 now. But for a while, I just kind of like, I knew about it, but didn't talk much about it. But because the name changed so much, people wouldn't recognize it. But 6 wins in Emporia, knowing the competition that was always there. Oh, I remember one of the finals there. It was Kevin Babbitt. I want to say it was Sloth. And dang, I don't remember exactly who the third. It might have been Stoney. I can't really remember. But we were about to start the final 9, and we were all sitting on the bench together, and it started to rain a little bit. So I leaned over and I'm like, "Hey, you guys practice much in the rain?" And all 3 of them said no. So before we threw our first disc in the finals, I already knew I won. You know what I mean? I mean, no disrespect to them, but I practiced in the rain. I knew we were going to play tournaments in the rain at some point, So my mind, I was always trying to stay ahead. And I just had my bag prepared for the rain. I remember having this rawhide, what do they call those things?
Chamois.
Chamois, yeah, the rawhide chamois. I mean, it wasn't none of this synthetic crap that you see today. It was the real rawhide, man, and that thing would just soak up moisture off the disc. And just the little secret things that I had kept to myself, how I kept my disc dry. I knew. I don't remember the score or whatever, but I remember sitting on the bench saying, "Oh man, they're in trouble. If they don't practice in the rain." I just went on and did my thing. But like I said, I can go on and on and on about the memories. I saw you go pick up something. What'd you get, buddy?
Well, can you see that?
Oh,
Star City Shootout. This is my my first ever PDGA win. I never did win an AM tournament. This is my first ever win in Open in 2003 in Lincoln, and you were there.
Was George? Well, George Smith wasn't there that year, but dang, I don't. Hey, congrats, but I'm older. I don't remember that. Like, dude, all my trophies were they were first place, but they were so damn tiny.
Trust me, I'm going to remember that sucker.
Yeah, that one's probably going to have a special spot. That one might not be the center one on that mantle back there because we know what that one is. It's got to be close.
Who we play with, or do you remember?
I know Eric was there.
I said I bet Eric was there.
Chad Garrison was there.
I bet Blake Needles was there.
The Cornflake was there.
Oh, Blake, what a dude!
You guys were. What was that team you guys were on? Equinox? Was that with?
Yeah. We were on Equinox.
And that was Brad, right?
No, it's Jonas Thomas, I think. He was the owner. Yeah, that was my very, very first hot stamp. DX Classic.
Yeah, I remember you and Blake were both on that team, and Blake came to Kansas a lot to play. There it is, Star City Shootout. Oh, myself, Eric, Kevin Babbitt, Ken Franks Tank.
Now I remember playing that with
Blake.
I couldn't have done well that weekend. I couldn't have done well.
You had a rough one.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good field to get over for your first win.
Heck yes. Heck yes.
That was fun.
There was one year, I think this was closer to maybe 98 or 99. George Smith won. But the weird thing was they had like $1,000 or over $1,000 that they were going to use for the finals. And it was only one round Sunday. And you had to be one of the top 4 scorers of Sunday's round to make the finals. So this was the weird part. And I shot like crap the first day. I was like 32nd or 31st out of 33 pros. I stunk it up Saturday, man. And then Sunday was one round, 27 holes. And I shot 17 down. I jumped from 30-something to 4th or 3rd or 4th, something like that. Made the finals. And I remember playing the final skins, and I look over to my right, And there's George, the winner. He's sitting under a tree chilling because he wasn't one of the top 4. That was the weirdest final 9.
Yeah.
The weirdest final 9, man. Yeah, that was crazy. Like he won. Go ahead, sir.
I said, did you get to show him all the cash after you cleaned up in the Skins game?
I don't remember what I did. I remember him sitting down more than the round. It was just the oddest thing ever. You know what I mean? But another thing about George Smith, since I'm on his name, I probably got 10, 12 second place trophies from Columbia in my damn closet because I'm the bridesmaid to freaking George Smith. You know, but I love it. You know, I appreciate him. He's another baller that pushed me, to be a good player. But it's like, dang, I could never beat him, But I finally got an A-tier win, much older, when I didn't have to play against him, playing in Columbia, back in I think it was 2018 or 2019. But I'll take it. I'll take a win in Columbia, not having to play against George. I'll take it. You know what I mean? But another baller. Another one.
He's one of those dudes that was always in that final 9 when I drive all the way across Kansas to Emporia. You could pretty much guarantee it was going to be you and George, and Eric was always going to be in it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then it would be a lot of times Kevin Babbitt.
Yeah.
Ron Kahn would always be in the mix. So, yeah, I missed that. That was always so much fun to just watch afterwards.
To me, it's no different than the players today. They're good, don't get me wrong, but in our prime, the head games, the conditioning, and we had to really do it. I mean, the technology to let the disc fly today versus what we have in the past. I mean, you really had to muscle up to throw an eagle back then, or a scorpion, or whatever was out. It just wasn't streamlined like it is today. But we made it work. We made it work.
Yeah. The shot I remember from the first final 9 I watched of you and those guys was hole 2 there at Jones. It was right after you crossed the road. Looking at the hole now, it's not a super long hole, but all these people are gut shotting it, and you come up there and you just throw this hyzer that disc got so tiny. And that was the exact quote out of your mouth after you threw it was, "Boy, that thing got small quick." And I'm like, this guy.
I was in the DD store the other day, and they were showing some holes in Emporia. Now on the Jones East, I can't remember. I don't know if it was hole 1 or what it was, but we were throwing back toward where you can see I-35, and this big red barn was sitting off to the right. Was that hole 1 or?
On East, it used to start.
It was at one point, right? So that was hole 1 for it. They've reconfigured it 2 or 3 times. There was a time when that was hole 1.
Well, the parking lot was behind you.
Yep.
And you do, And I remember playing that for the first time, and I was just throwing down the tube right at it. I threw an air shot, boom, ended up in the street behind it. So dang, all right. So I threw rollers, and it ended up in the street behind it. So I'm like, you know what? I look off to the right. There was my shot over the barn. Parked it.
There ain't no shot for those folks who don't know that hole. There's no shot to the right. Not for humans. There's not.
Well, and they're probably got some trees growing in now, but back then, and that was, I don't know, man, that was my advantage. And I remember hole 18 on Jones West, over the corner of the cove, parking on the green.
The Pegasus, this is the shot, right? So you got to it before I could, but still the most impressive. I was 21-year-old kid, just been playing for no time at that point when I saw that final 9, and you threw that shot, and it's the best shot I've ever seen thrown to this day.
Well, the first time I did it, it was in between rounds, and some little kid was watching. He watched my drive, and he was just ecstatic about that. But when I went around and made the putt, man, he jetted over to the shelter to tell everybody what he just saw, dude. And I think maybe a couple months after that, what did Eric do? He moved the damn tee pad, you know? Oh, man. And
Good stuff.
yeah, there was one final at Emporia. I threw a roller and it made the gallery move, except for Iqbal. I don't know if you remember if you were there for that.
I know it, Mom.
Yeah, I mean, I felt bad for him. Everybody kind of moved back out of the way, and he must have been on a delay reaction, and it hit his chair that he was sitting in and everything. And by the time I got up there where my shot was, I didn't even want to say anything to him because the gallery made him feel this small, bro. And I felt more sorry for him. He didn't really mess up my shot. It probably would have went another 40 or 50 feet or whatever. But the fact that, how did everyone move but Iqbal? I don't know.
Well, I think we all kind of know probably why Iqbal
Well,
was the one who didn't move.
It's Iqbal.
he couldn't move. Good dude, though. Good dude. Yeah, man, it's always fun when people, remind me of something that I did 25 years ago. All I can do is like, okay, yeah, thank you. I don't remember, tons of shots, but it was just my imagination, and I had an advantage on most of the field, that I can just put it wherever I want it, and I just kind of use that to my advantage. But I think my biggest strength was if I took a bogey somewhere, certain people that knew me, they just start eye rolling because they knew if I took a bogey, I was about to get on the run because that bogey pissed me off. So in order to make that bogey seem less significant, I felt like I had to string 4 or 5 in a row if I could. So it just got to be when we were casually playing, it still was in effect. If I had a bad shot and somebody wanted to give me some shit, Mike Davis was number 1. Leave him alone. He's just gonna get stronger.
Don't poke the bear.
Yeah. But that was a. But go ahead. No, that was another thing about me too. Like before I played disc golf, being into individual sports where I had to rely on myself a lot, gymnastics, martial arts, and ballet. It was all me, if I screwed up or if I did something wrong. So I didn't realize that when I first came into the sport, how I can just stay focused, and my form, it just kind of naturally came. And then knowing how to torque my body and, get the quick muscles to react, that was all the martial art part. But it took me over a year to, understand why I was making it look easy, compared to other people. And I didn't have an answer. I just didn't know. But once I realized it, I just started to, let it flow, just lean on it. You know what I mean? And we see it all the time now when people are trying to take something off a shot. It's not a golf move. You know what I mean? It's just a way to get that momentum so you can deliver the shot. And I've always relied on that. If I don't have to make it look or feel difficult, I'm not, and more so since I'm older. Jesus, I'm trying to save all the energy I can,
We're familiar.
Yeah. There's so much straight and understable stuff in my bag now, but hey, if it keeps me in the neighborhood of these younger guys, I'm gonna keep doing it, gonna keep doing it.
I got to ask you about a shot that I saw you throw once that just made me scratch my head in a bad way, just because I want to know if you remember it.
Oh boy.
We were playing at the Shunganunga.
Oh yeah.
We were playing the lake course, Shawnee, and we're coming down the stretch. And it's like the first day of the tournament, so there's like crap tons of golf left.
Yeah.
And what we're playing, I think it was hole 16 maybe at the time. It was like you teed off out in the open and the basket was to the right. The lake was to your right. It was a flick shot all day. And you went up there to flick that thing, and you tried your dangest to flick it. And for some reason, your grip just slipped right out from under it. That thing just went like 30 feet. And everybody on the tee was like, Didn't know what
Yeah.
to say. Nobody said
Yeah. I remember that. I definitely remember that. That
you got
was
up and down for par.
yeah, but that was me in that stage. It must have been in the early '90s to some degree, but I hadn't had it down, and it wasn't that I was using a sidearm every day. So when I saw that opportunity, I'm like, okay, there's plenty of room out here to work it. But as you brought up, hey, I didn't have it down, and shoot, dude, I ain't gonna lie, that'll still happen to this day occasionally. You know what I mean? That arm would just get too quick and that disc just won't come out. But over the years, I think we've all just kind of gravitated to a certain disc or two that we have that comfort with the sidearm where, we just don't have those issues. But oh God, yeah, I remember that, dude. Yeah. And I've had a couple incidents like that where my car will get quiet. It's like, dude, go on and laugh, because if it would have been I probably would laugh, because I don't know. It's just the like, you couldn't do that with everyone, but we played enough rounds together that it was okay for people to give each other crap and all that. But speaking of Lake Shawnee, knowing I was going to do this interview, man, all kind of crap just popped up in my head. But I remember playing a 4-round and a final 9 there, dude, and I smoked the whole tournament. No bogeys for 4 rounds, and it kept getting announced every freaking meeting we had. Oh, LaRon had a bogey and blah blah blah. Get to the final 9. Me, Eric McCabe, and Kevin Babbitt. Sorry, I don't remember who the 4th person was, but no bogeys in the final 9, and I get to stupid 18, bro. Bogey the last hole in the final. It would have been a 3-way tie for first, and I took my only bogey on the very last hole in the freaking finals. But again, all those learning moments and growing pains, and it was so cool. We were playing from 17's pad to 18 across the cove of the little creek there, and I got ballsy. I pulled out a roller and I chucked it from the tee pad. It cruised all the way past the tee pad of 18 down the hill, and then that's when I was like, dude, this is either going to get hung up in the grass or it's in the water. And it got hung up, and yeah, great drive. Babbitt had sprayed right. No, Eric had sprayed right. Babbitt had sprayed long and way left. He was damn near on hole 1 somewhere. And, they made it up and down, and I didn't. But, yeah, dude, it was just like, dude, you went the whole tournament. All you needed was one more par, you know what I mean? But no, those are the fun ones, man, where you just steadily battling the whole weekend, and then just try to keep your calm throughout it all, It was, I don't know. I wouldn't change anything about it. I like the losing, the rounds that I lost, the tournaments that I lost. Hey, it wasn't meant to be, I had a few mistakes here and there. And we also won tournaments by tons of strokes. And what are we doing on the way home? Thinking about the ones we missed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But if you're not doing that, in my eyes, what are you doing?
Exactly.
You want to be a perfectionist. When ball golfers, when they get off the course, they don't get into their car, run back to the hotel. They're going right back to the driving range or the putting range to figure it out. To something wasn't right, even though they might have shot well, they still want to clean it up a little bit better. And that's always been my mentality. And people, I get accused of being too serious. Oh man, you need to lighten up, bro. Hey, dude, no. If I do that, then I'm not being me. I'm not staying tuned in to what I'm here to do. One of my goals playing tournaments, I always kind of gave myself something to reach out for. I knew it was always ballers. It could be anybody from Ken Climo down to whoever. I was going to be balling with somebody, and my goals were to win back as much as it took to get me to wherever I was. That kept me clean. That kept me humble. Anything over that was a bonus. You know what I mean? So I always wanted my weekends to be quote unquote paid for by my play. And if I can do that, whether I got eighth or first, as long as I won more, won the amount that it took me to get to that tournament, I was cool. If I kept that mindset, how can you go wrong? We've all played with guys that like they had to win something to get home or to get to the next event. Man, I'm not enjoying golf if I'm playing like that, dude. So I could never put myself in that situation. If it can't remain fun and keep some reasonable target goals for yourself, that was my way of having fun and not let it bother me. You can't let it stress you.
In the 90s, man, that was tough to win your amount that you spent back, right? Because
especially the payouts back then.
Payouts for nothing.
I said a lot of these kids these days don't know how well we went and played for $144 some weekends. 4 rounds across 2 days.
Yeah, it wasn't. I mean, the money was good and it was fine, but it was like, dude, you worked hard. That's what you wanted to go do. You wanted to go play hard, and the money's going to be gone. But then you're going to keep that memory. You're going to keep that plaque, that trophy, something. I mean, that was the benefit of you being out there. You know what I mean? The money's going to be gone. I mean, a lot of times, whoever I roll with or roll with me, like, dude, we got money. We're about to stop and have a steak dinner. Surf and turf on the way home, I mean, we got to do that for ourselves, I mean, that was always the case, bro. Hell, my boys, my kids used to love it. I remember one time, it might have been one of the wide opens where I finished pretty good. I came home and bought 4 brand new bikes for my kids. And you think they wasn't hooked on disc golf? They didn't ever want to come play, but they wanted daddy to do good. Hey, did you win? Did you win? Can we go shopping? But I don't know. That's the way I always kind of looked at it. So I didn't have any stress. Just I don't know. I just found a way for me, and it doesn't work for everybody. But if they wanted to call me too serious or whatever, then so be it. The ballers know you can't be chit-chatting about what you're going to do later in the middle of the damn round. I call that cartoon time, when your brain drifts off when you're supposed to be lining up a putt, but you're thinking about what you're supposed to cook for dinner. No, that's cartoon time. Like, dude, quit slipping, Yeah.
So you and I talked a little bit about it beforehand, but you said you don't play a lot anymore, but you do a little bit of coaching and you like to do that. Can you talk to us about that a little bit?
Well, everything that we just talked about, my career and everything, that was a time we kept secrets. We didn't share how we progressed in the game and how we figured everyone out and stuff like that. But now I don't feel like I have much to prove on the course or to anybody. I am who I am. And it's so rewarding now to be a coach and to open up, give back. And I tell people, first and foremost, I'm not the coach for everyone. I'm a process coach. If you're looking for the quick fix, I'm probably not your guy, but if you got time to hang out 6 months, a year, I got some buddies who've been hanging out 2-3 years, and they're still soaking it up. They're still working on themselves, trying to figure it out. But I feel more rewarded now when I see someone else get it. But they got to keep working at it to hold on to it. But that's my joy now. I want to pass on all the little secrets and things of that nature. And I've been managing Hobby Hill Golf Course since it's been around. It came in 2019. I've been attached by the hip to that course since then, and I enjoy that more too. Just making it better. Just trying to tweak the little safety features to keep everyone safe out there, and visual beauty. I'm a stickler for my lines. I don't want any lines having little finger branches sticking out. I just try to keep everything cut back and clean for what the players expect. And, just being open for the feedback. Now, that's kind of my downfall, because some of the feedback can be, over the top of what they think should happen or what they want. but I just try to be that mediator in between, helping the players grow, but keeping their imagination down. And you get a lot of people that want to throw out dreams and stuff, but they're never there for the work days. You know what I mean?
You got that right.
So those dudes, you get low priority. If you got, you got dreams and you ain't never came out there and picked up a shovel, put on no gloves, I'm probably not gonna listen to you much. So you want your stuff to be listened to. Come on out there. You put in some work, and now you're part of the team. We can get out there and make some stuff happen. But the coaching part, dude, has been, I love it. I don't know, probably 350 people a year, on the low end. I get groups, I get clinics of, 30, 60 people, things of that nature. Then I do a bunch of individual stuff, but I love it. But I love telling the kids and the women that I trained, 2 world champions, Cynthia Riccati, I think she's with Dismania.
Dismania.
Yeah. And then Ava Myers, man, she's been a dream to watch grow. I've been working with her since she was 7, and she's, she just got her driver's license this year too, But those 2 have been a dream. And Eric McCabe, I didn't teach him. He was, we just rolled together. We just talked. So, mentor, whatever you want to call it there, but he was just out there right my shadow. If I would have stopped too quick, he would have ran up on me. But I love that. That's since Eric and working with him and just being a part of his life, probably 6 or 7 guys that I would kind of put in that category now, that they've been kind of lifers. They're going to keep, we hang out all the time. We talk, and then a lot of stuff is done and progress is made, not being on the golf course, just us having a conversation about their mental, how they think, how they, set themselves up, little twerks in their body that I notice, like, hey, this is happening every time you miss. And I'm like, wow, I didn't feel that. So when they become aware of their body language a little bit more for themselves, it tends to help them out. And then all I can do, man, I just sit back and grin and smile when I see them figure it out. And, I can't even put it to words, dude. It's just a hell of a feeling watching somebody get it, and then they're able to teach now. Like, dude, you've been listening to me for 3 years. You can't go out and show a newbie? Yes, you can. You know what I mean? And show them with confidence. So I don't know, man. I love my little legacy I'm building. And that's the thing now, when I'm done and gone or whatever, man, I just want people to keep pushing the Who Man as a positive person, just trying to help people understand the game. And, sometimes it just turns into life conversations. Dude, for a while, I felt like Dr. Phil of disc golf, because the questions were not just about golf, it was about life. And I just felt honored that people were just sharing stuff with me that was not related. I was like, dude, what? I will not betray this feeling that you're giving me, you're sharing with me. Wow. I can go on, dude. It's been amazing. So this golf community for my, 35 plus years has kept me, grounded. We hear that a lot, but I truly mean that, it saved a lot of people, I'm sure, from some terrible decisions, you know what I mean? So just knowing the camaraderie. I mean, even in our community, you're going to get judged a little bit, but you're going to probably have more people reach out to help you instead of put their foot on your chest. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, there's just so many little things about this sport that's like, man, this is incredible. I always tell people too, if you're on the highway, you have a car problems and you got to pull over, don't put a damn flare out. Just lay some disc all over the outside of your car. I guarantee you somebody's going to pull over, man. I mean, that's just how our community is. You put some disc out and they see the disc, man, they go, hey, bro, what's up? They going to get you, bro. I mean, that's just the way I feel. I haven't seen it, but I do feel that deep in my heart that our community is that tight,
I agree. that
Yeah.
disc golf community as a whole is always willing to do whatever they can to help a brother in need out for sure.
Yeah. And I
It's,
hope that
it's
never
amazing.
changes. Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot, gentlemen. We've seen a lot, and we're going to continue to see more. That's for sure.
Yes,
Hope
we
to see a
are.
lot more. Yeah, that's the deal. Hope to see a lot more.
Ronnie,
Yeah.
you got some fun stats or anything that you?
I do, man. So I don't necessarily have a game. Ron, we like to play games around here, talk about people's stats that come on, but I do have a few. It's not necessarily a game, but we're going to play it as one. Okay.
Okay.
So I've only got a few categories here. So we're going to do this Price is Right style. This first one's Price is Right style. So closest without going over. Tell me the number of events, PDGA sanction events, that who has played. Who you get the first guess.
Now, that's tough. Early in the conversation, I brought up 97. When I shot that 16 under, guess what? Didn't get recorded in the PDGA.
Of course. We know how those 90 stats look.
Oh, I'm like, out of all the events, this one didn't get recorded. I'm gonna go out on. I'm gonna say 32.
Oh no.
Played, not one. Played.
Oh, how many have I played?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Now you were very close to number of wins.
Okay, that's where I was going. Oh God. 120.
Smitty, you don't get a guess. LaRon has it on the number.
Wow.
Really?
120 events.
Really? Dude, I mean, I have no stats in front of me. I just threw it out there. Wow.
120 sanction events played with 27 wins. So
that
leads us into question number 2, Smitty. We'll let you get the first crack this time since you didn't get a play. So
sorry.
Now we know, and we've talked about this many times on the show, how hard it was to play a PDGA event 25 or 30 years ago, right? There wasn't 160 of them every weekend like there is today.
No.
So amazingly enough, who only won 6 different titles as an open player?
Only won
all
6.
But all but one of those he won multiple times. Sanction events, LaRon, sanction events. Can you name 2, or put it this way, how many of those multiple time wins can you name, Smitty?
DDO, GBO, whatever, Emporia O.
Emporia Open. We'll call it Emporia Open.
Star City Shootout.
Star City Shootout.
Call to Arms.
Call to Arms.
Ooh, yeah.
How about KC Wide Open?
Negative.
Yeah.
Not when it was sanctioned, at least.
Iowa? Des Moines?
Yeah, Des Moines.
Yep. So whatever configuration of whatever they call the Des Moines Open, Des Moines Challenge, the Des Moines Golf Tournament. Correct. That's one.
Yeah.
There's 2 more.
Dang. I man, I don't know. Hold on.
It's got to be something in.
I'm thinking it's in Kansas somewhere, but I don't know.
There's one in Kansas and there's one in Missouri. So the Kansas one,
I don't know.
we talked about it earlier. Capital City Classic.
Yeah, something in Topeka. Shunganunga Capital City Classic.
Capital City Classic. And the first H2 Open, which that was your last Open win. I'm not sure how long that tournament even kept going, but it was a KC Mo tournament.
04, 05, something like that.
No, I think it might have been like 06 or 07.
I was out by 07, pretty sure. I don't know. I might have put my cripple ass in there and pulled it off.
You're right. It was 2003. Okay,
I knew it was pretty early. Yeah, my hips were bothering me from 2003 on. And then it just got bad to the point where I had to back out for a while. But, I have no regrets, zero regrets. This sport's amazing. That's all I have to say. Very amazing. But, I don't know. I I just played every event like it was gonna, be my last one, as they say, and again though, it was always the competition that made me bring it. I knew if I didn't bring my game, I wasn't gonna be in the top five or anything because everybody was bringing something to the table. Every name we talked about, you know, had their chance. And
There was a stretch for about 10 years, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, where good luck winning a tournament in Kansas City area, Kansas, Nebraska, if Mr. Harris was there. Leads us to
yeah,
the next question. Which sanctioned event did LaRon win the most?
Star City Shootout.
Star City.
yeah.
How many
Star City,
times?
that was 5. It's either Star City or Emporia. I got 6.
6 Star Cities.
Okay, I'll take it.
I
I
know
know.
he won so many times he can't even. He gets them all confused.
Well, it was like it got kind of goofy up there to the point where I think it was my last year that I won. They said, "Man, all we can do is give you your own parking spot. We don't, we have nothing else to give you." So when I rolled up that weekend, they had me a parking spot all blocked off that I could use all weekend for myself, and I thought that was pretty cool too.
Had a stretch of you won it 5 times in 6 years.
Wow.
And I think did Smitty interrupt that? I think.
No, Smitty won it right after one of the last times you won it. So the last time you won Star City was in 2002, and then Mr. Smith won it the next year.
Yeah, that's the year that he didn't make the finals. That was crazy. Oh, well, one of those years. But I just remember watching him sit on the sidelines, which was so confusing to me. He won, but he's not playing. But dude, all these stats are they're I don't know, they're cool, but I'm probably one of the guys like doing this interview is okay, but I just don't walk around spouting all this crap out, dude. I mean, enough people know or they have their memories, and unless I run into somebody that's got that fish story and it keeps growing, you know, then I might throw out a couple of accolades on them, just to humble them a little bit. But for the most part, it's in the past. I'm glad I did it. But it's a new era now. But I appreciate this. Maybe some of these younger golfers will, go take a look at, some of the old school ballers, and maybe they got one in their neighborhood they can chat with. It's a good thing. And just like you guys, man, every day is a journey. What's going to be hurting when we get up in the morning? And do I have enough time to get loose before I go play?
Mine's going to be my feet, man. That's what kills me is my feet. They just hurt all the time.
Well, it's like, my distance isn't the same. And I honor that. I understand that. But when I realized that, I'm like, you know what? That's not the end of the world. You can still have a good approach game, and you can still threaten people with your putter. So that's what I decided to do. You know what I mean? And I forced myself. I couldn't tell you last time I played with any of my peers. Not that I don't want to. It's just the way my life is going right now. But most of the guys I play with are in their 30s. And I win, I think, more than I should with them. But they can outdrive me. But a lot of times it's the course that I pick or that we play. The course is going to keep everybody in check. I'm not playing a course where it's just open ground and a 600-foot hole and they're going to park it. I'm not doing that. If you're smart, you take them to a course that they can throw hard. They can throw hard. They're not pitch and putt, but they got to miss trees. You know what I'm saying? So that part of my game. I think I win more than I should with these guys, but part of it is just mental. They are trying to beat me too much to play their own game. You know what I mean? And when they stop doing that and stop looking at the scorecard, they'll probably beat me, but it feels good to be 63, and I can probably still whoop half the people in Kansas City. I'm not afraid to say it. I'll take challenges. If they catch me on a good day, I'm trying to let this medicine get out of my system that's been in me for the last 3 months. But once that passes and my energy comes back, I'll talk a little shit. But I know how to get beat. I know how to get beat with a smile, and I know how to win without making people feel bad. You know what I mean? So I love it. I kind of, in my head, I'm kind of saving it. I'll match up with CD and Bruce and Otto and them every blue moon, but I already feel that when I do match up with them, just internally, I feel like I'm gonna have the edge because I play with a bunch of younger guys all the time. So I find a way to keep pushing myself with these younger guys. And when they beat me, I just try to keep it under 7 strokes. If they beat me by 3 or 4, I call that a good round. If they beat me by 7 or more, then I had some issues, and I'll own them. But or it might be the course just out of my limit. You know what I mean? So the older we get, we got to pick our battles a little smarter. You know what I mean? As far as where we play, and like now, if it's under 40 degrees, I ain't even playing, bro. Like, not worth it. I done did. We've all done our tour duty in the cold weather, the rain, the moonlight. I'm done with all that. It's got to be daylight, and the weather's got to be comfortable, and preferably the ground can't be too wet. I'm pretty picky now, but
and the wind's not blowing.
Well, I don't mind that because that's messing with everybody.
Okay.
But just as long as I don't, like I laugh about it. Like, dude, I didn't have any, I didn't embarrass myself, and I didn't get hurt. So those are my 2 things that I kind of want to come home with. Other than that.
That's the goal these days for me. Be upright on 18 green, and I'll probably all right with the result.
Heck yeah, man, heck yeah. But dude, this is fun. I'll come back anytime. You got somebody else that wants to do some video sparring. I'll be around to chat with them, and we can shoot the shit about who did what. I don't care.
Absolutely. Well, we'll keep you on the speed dial. You got any shout outs or anything you want to give as we're wrapping it up?
No, it'll probably dawn on me later, but I was just kind of excited to do this. Like I said, I don't do a lot of videos, don't do a bunch of interviews. Most of my stuff, I just feel proud that I do it face to face. Like Scott Stokely, admire the crap out of him. I couldn't teach online. I want to be available. You know what I mean? If we go back and forth, I want you to be able to call me, or we can hook up, and then I can straighten you out. Now, I have helped people, that don't live in the same city, but that's not my forte. I want hands-on, so that's kind of where I lie there. But if anybody call for any advice or whatever, I won't shy away from it. I'll help them out, and then I'll feel guilty and keep calling them to make sure I explained it right. You know what I mean? Because I'm not there, I can't really, go through it with them. So that's how strongly I feel about it, that I want to make sure that I'm sane and showing the right things so they can get the full experience, So, no, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, man, I really appreciate you coming on here. This, like Ronnie said, these little monthly deals, I personally don't care if 3 people watch it, because I've got my fix of what I needed. The talking to the people that I looked up to as I was coming up in disc golf, and the guys that, if somebody asked me to name a bad dude, you're going to be the first one out of my list. I'm going to say LaRon Harrison, his heyday, baby. There was nothing better. So,
dude, I appreciate that. I really do. It was a lot of hard work and a lot of fun, and just to have you guys to bring me up in your history of disc golf is deeply appreciated, brothers. It really is.
Right on, man.
Thank you for being on. Yeah, this is kind of fanboy stuff for us, right?
Hey,
so
I hope other people watch it.
That's the best player I ever saw. So
I hope other people watch it, and if anybody wants to reach out to me, you got any questions, find me on Facebook, message me, and let's get it on.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. Appreciate you being on, LaRon.
All right, guys. Love you guys.
Thanks, dude.
Be safe.
Later,
Be
All
man.
right, take care. All right.
Well, I told you it was going to be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I can't even put into words how. Like I get the same way every month, right? I try to, whoever we're going to talk to, are we going to be able to bring it out of them? Are they going to be able to do it, or how's it going to go? And every month it goes the same way, right? You get to the end and you look up and we've been doing it for 90 minutes or 2 hours with Buddy, or we're getting ready to run out of time with Buddy Cast. The clock won't go any further, right? And we could have went for. I mean, I could sit there and talk to LaRon all night long.
Yeah, and
it's so fun.
I'd go back and watch some of the old shows. Like I love going back and watching the one with Harv. It's just so awesome. That guy is just so full of life, and yeah, man, this is great. So I'm glad we got LaRon on. I'm glad we introduced some people to LaRon. That man with that skill in today's golf game, he would be, he was just too many years ahead of his time.
Tour player, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's a tour player. I wish that, like I said, it's a shame that someone with his kind of talent was so far ahead of his time, because with all the coverage that there is, even on smaller events now, I cannot explain to folks how much I wish they could go back and how we have archives of being able, we could go back and watch tournament coverage of LaRon Harris, because it would just, it's like I said, if he could play, if he was playing, if he was 30, if he was more than 30 years later, he's a tour player, and there's no question about it.
And that 16 down that he's so happy about, and you could just see him just light up as he's talking about it. That's on par 3 disc golf courses.
Yeah.
That's not, you can throw a half-ass shot here and there and still scrap it out. That dude had to attack.
He shot 38. That's what that means.
Yeah. It's amazing. So, All right, dude. I'm going to go get rested up for my snow day, and
another month down. Can't wait to see you next month, brother.
Right on. Later, man.